2015 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, our Thanksgiving coverage continues with a good one here between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a first down throw. Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And now the offense for Detroit.
One way I really judge a player's value is when opponents know what your strengths are, yet they still can't take that away. That tells me you're a heck of a player. And for Theo Riddick, everyone knows about his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, yet he's still the primary target for Matthew Stafford on just about any passing situation.
Here's Riddick. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult third down call now.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Eddie Goldman in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. This is taken at the 15. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bears take over. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Under center will be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. A first down throw, Darnold. Throw left side, complete. It's Burton. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Detroit. They've certainly had their struggles against the run. The 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
The numbers are definitely not in their favor, but every time I click on the film and watch them, I see stretches where they play against the run really well. Their biggest problem? When they give up those explosive runs, those 30, 40, 50-yard runs, that'll really mess up your averages.
The catch made by Miller. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
This is Howard on second down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Ashawn Robinson coming out of the University of Alabama, a big, physical, intimidating force who had to learn to play with more leverage. Otherwise, he was going to get blown off the ball in the NFL. Looks like he's learning his lessons after that play.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Here's Darnold. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. So here come the Lions now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the end zone, Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On the ground, it's Leonard. And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. Well, we thought these 2 defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Miller. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. The numbers for Howard a week ago: 12 carries, 97 yards.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, but some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears will extend their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. And now they get to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Wide open receiver complete. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there that sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Letting one go deep for the end. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Now, Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, Darnold. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
A give to Howard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Darnold. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. A play fake, and it's Darnold. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. On 1st down, Darnold. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Out left to Shaheen. And down inside the 15 he goes. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch him now, Barney.
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And Old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Pass interference. Defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over with the penalty?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Parkey adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. On first down, it's Stafford. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, Stafford here. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
So we're at halftime here in the annual. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick, please? Thank you. All right, let's go. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
To throw on second down is Darnold. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now Howard. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now they'll run it with Cohen, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Faking the give. Darnold. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Throwing is Stafford. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes, even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Riddick with a carry. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Now Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Throw left side complete. It's Burton. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in what you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week. You must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. They'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Again, it's Cohen. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Watch it now, Barney!
Play action. It's Darnold. Shakes off the sand. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Sean Robinson able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. So out now come the Lions. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From his own goal line, Stafford. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. Put a little sand down on the stage.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Take it at the 37. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Watch it now, Barney.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the third time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception in this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. They lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And Robinson with a big catch. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead,
and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Back to throw, Darnold. That's caught. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Stafford to the right and complete to Galladay. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here's Stafford toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to T.J. Jones that time, and that'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
What that does is embolden a second.
Second and 10, Stafford again. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there? Yes. Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Again, it's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But I believe a Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Now Riddick. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. They go back to Riddick. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Stafford now to throw. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. This Bears defense trying to hold on. This is 3rd and goal. Stafford. And Incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on fourth down. Here we go with Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Time for a break. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. They run with Howard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Running with Howard. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run. This is Cohen. Able to slither by. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, break it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Down to a knee goes Bridgewater, and that ought to do it. Road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Chicago, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.